Okay, here we have a 1977 Honda CB750A, also known as the Hondamatic. This is a clutchless automatic 2-speed inline 4 single overhead cam Honda, which is kind of a quirky machine, if you haven't figured that out already. So there is no clutch lever at the left grip here. You have a shifter on the left, which goes from neutral is all the way down, then you have a low speed, and then like a D for drive speed, driving gear. And you essentially start the bike in neutral, shift up into low without any clutch lever, and it remains stationary until you accelerate, build speed in the torque converter, and then you take off. This was kind of designed as a gentleman's motorcycle at the time, more for a commuter, somebody who may spend a fair amount of time in stop-and-go traffic. You don't have a clutch lever to mess with. It also has this really strange but lovely skirted fender, which is the original piece there, which is to keep your slacks clean on your way to work. So it's a lovely machine in that regard. The aluminum wheels are original pieces as well. The mufflers are not original. These are just some slip-ons with a black custom adapter to go from the 2 headers on the one side to the 1 muffler on one side. So both of those there with some custom aluminum brackets and things. Came out very clean. Recently this machine has received a lot of other services like carburetor cleaning, but it also received a new head gasket. So the valves and things like that are adjusted after that work, as well as some oil gallery, O-rings, a couple of things like that here and there. New battery, tires are brand new Avons, excellent tires for this machine. It has a set of Euro-style handlebars, which look really nice, those black bars, just a touch lower than the factory ones would have been, and I find them to be just about perfect. Lovely original paint and bodywork on this machine, rip-free original seat as well. We have underneath the seat, I can show you, the bike actually has a kickstart lever, which is not fitted when stationary. It's above the battery here, and that you can utilize on the left-hand side of the machine on this shaft there between the foot peg and the shifter. And there's kind of a double linkage set up so that you can hold that up while kicking the bike. Bit unusual, but it's present there. This is a rather difficult piece to find. We have the original owner's manual, a toolkit there as well. A couple of the stickers, the chassis stickers, are peeling and fading in different places, but nothing major there. It uses standard motorcycle oil, no ATF or anything. It's standard wet sump motorcycle. The single overhead cam 750s from this time had a oil bag. That's not present here. It's a wet sump only, with the oil being in the oil pan. The bike has also been upgraded with a set of Dynatech electronic ignition and Excel coils, which are very nice upgrades to the ignition system. The bike has a step up for the idle when you go from neutral into the low gear, so that it bumps the idle just a fuzz, so that the extra friction on the motor from the torque converter doesn't stall it out. So it's very important to have a solid, smooth idle on these bikes. The carbs are dialed in very, very nicely with the factory airbox, and the Excel coils really help the ignition in those low RPMs so that it doesn't stall out when you shift without moving. A couple of unusual pieces and parts, like these fork ears, are specific to this bike as far as I'm aware, and overall just an awesome machine, very clean tank inside. Let's go ahead and fire it up and see how it sounds. Just a lovely machine. I just finished a quick ride around town with it here this evening, and it's a beautiful ride. The fuel gauge is functional. It takes a moment with resistance for it to come up, but the high beam indicator, parking light, all of those things work as well. Oh yeah, the parking system. So essentially with it all the way in the neutral position, over here you can pull this to set the parking brake, and with the key on it has a constant tone. That also oscillates with the turn signals, which you heard before. But in order to disable the parking brake, you press in this center button here. Press the center of this button here, and then you would just tap the brake lever to fully disengage the parking brake. It does not have gears, right, in the traditional sense, so you can't park it in gear. It would just kind of slide down a hill, so it has that parking system there in order to, you know, stop or hold the bike in a stationary position. But don't hesitate to ask any questions or provide a few comments. Thanks for watching.